Hey everybody. Oh, focus. Happy New Year 2019 to everybody watching my channel. Apologies for this glare, but it's the glare of my, I don't know, phone or computer. I'll take my glasses off. Not that I can see anyway. I haven't done a video for quite some time because, well, it was Christmas. I was having a break from filming stuff, and also a lot's been going on with this whole face pain jaw thing. So basically, the last thing I think you knew was I was still in a lot of pain and it's swollen, blah blah blah. I'm now back at that stage. However, I had an ultrasound on my jaw and down the front of my neck, and all it's shown is that I have bright white saliva glands, and I think I've told you this before, but they said, oh, it's not Sjogren's, and I was like, okay. Anyway, I then have now got an appointment for the maxillofacial department at Addenbrooke's on the 14th of February, which is obviously quite a while away yet. But my jaw is only bad because something is swelling up and hurting, and in my ears, all like from the back of my ear all the way down my jaw, around here and up here, and then in this part of my cheekbones, and then my head hurts a lot, and that's the only places that hurt. So I was thinking to myself, is it Sjogren's? Could it be lupus? But then there's so many symptoms of lupus I don't have. I don't think it's lupus. Anyway, before Christmas, my GP finally, I was in such a bad way. I was actually suicidal. I was that bad because no one would do anything about this. No one would investigate. No one would look, and I'm in so much pain. I hope you can understand me talking because it hurts so much. I'll try and close caption this, but if I can't, forgive me. So anyway, basically the reason I was suicidal was this pain, and I even started looking up what dosage of Oromos do you need to take to overdose to, like, basically kill yourself, because I couldn't cope with this pain and the fact that no doctor wanted to help me, and my life was not. My cat is asleep next to me. I just felt really bad, terrible. So I was put on antidepressants, and also it's one that helps with you to sleep. And actually, when I started them, and even now really, I sleep right through the night. Like, it's crazy. I haven't had that since before EDS and Potsie was diagnosed, so over 10 years. I have really good sleeps. Anyway, my GP agreed that he'd put me on a course of steroids over Christmas to see if it would help, because they helped before. Because I'd been so housebound, and that's why also I was depressed. Sorry, my hands are annoying. And obviously we had plans to go to see my mum and dad, and the thought of sitting up through Christmas was just like trying to run a marathon with blisters. not great at all. So he said, I'll give you enough to last you Christmas and then slowly come off it and let me know. So I was on the steroids, and after 2 days of taking the dose, I was on 6 tablets a day. I don't know what size they were or anything like that. I can't remember. My symptoms just started to disappear. Like the pain in my jaw was the first thing that went, which meant I was able to start eating soft food again, and even some solid food, which was incredible. My headache that I have now, which is right here, that went. Like, I was taking paracetamol 4 times a day and Oromorph on top. That went as well. And I still have the problem with my neck right in the centre at the back. I can't hold my head up, so I have to have a neck brace and or pillow, which I did wear at Christmas, and I have to wear if I'm in my wheelchair or travelling in the car. In the house I don't wear it, but I have a pillow like this pillow I'm lying on now, always behind me. Anyway, so I had started morphine patches, but they hadn't helped. I don't know what they're called. I can't remember. They're a long name. They're like the old Boot-Trans patches, but apparently Boot-Trans don't exist anymore. Anyway, I was put on a 10 milligram dose, and I've actually got to change my patch this afternoon now. I don't feel that's helped because I still have needed every single day around 4 or 5 o'clock. I start getting pain, and I take a paracetamol and a bit of Oromorph, and it gets rid of it. So he said to try that and see if it worked, because he was still convinced it's some stupid sinus infection, which it clearly is not. So for 10 days I was on steroids, and those 10 days was the best I felt in months. And then I had to slowly come off them over the course of 4 days, or 5 days I suppose it was. And since I've come off them, it's all gone back. So whatever it is that's wrong with me, whether it's Sjögren's or something else, I don't know. I'm in so much pain now, even with this morphine patch, which proves the morphine patch is doing nothing, because the pain, and you can see, look, I'm so swollen around my cheeks, and under here is all swollen too. And it just hurts to talk, and here. And I called my doctor's surgery today. I didn't call yesterday because I thought everyone would be calling after New Year. And my doctor isn't there today, but he's in tomorrow. And I said I need to speak to him, because he said, let me know how things are. He was amazing. He came out several times to do house visits to me, because I can't go out the house to the doctor's. It's too far. And he was really concerned about me, especially as I was crying down the phone pretty much every time I spoke to him, because I'm so frustrated with this pain, and it so never goes away, and it's in your face, literally in your face all the time. So anyway, the receptionist obviously didn't know the backstory, and he wasn't in, and she goes, no, there's no appointments, I can't book you anything. I was like, it's a phone appointment. She's like, no. So I said, please can you send him a message? And he's in tomorrow, and hopefully he'll see the message. He knows it's me. He knows what a crazy special case I am, and hopefully will call me. But I basically said, the steroids are amazing. It got rid of all the stuff. Now it's all come back. Can I go back on them? Because in 1 week today, I go to Stanmore. For those of you who don't know, Stanmore's the Royal National Orthopaedic Hospital in London. It's in Stanmore, which is kind of outskirts of London. I go there for my EDS, but there are rheumatologists galore, and rheumatologists, I've been told all along, are the ones that will either diagnose me or figure out what's going on. Whether it's Sjögren's, lupus, something completely different, but they know about EDS there too, so. But I'm so frustrated. It's just, it makes me upset. This is why I've had this since November, and I've only just had 10 days of no pain in that time, and now I have to put up with this again. And the other thing that's crazy is symptoms that I've had for those last few months as well went away with these steroids, things that I didn't even realise was related to this. Like, every time I get up to go and do something, it just like make a drink or go to the toilet, I start sweating, like as if I'm really exhausted, and my POTS is going off the scale. Like, every time I stand up, I feel like I'm going to pass out, even if I'm standing up for 10 seconds. And my POTS is never this bad. And so that went away, and then I've been cold continuously for the last 2 days, freezing. That had gone away and that's come back. And then I was having night sweats of cold sweats and waking up shivering. That happened last night too. I woke up physically convulsing, but it wasn't an episode of my non-epileptic attacks. I was just so cold I was shivering. So, and that had gone away. And one of the major things that I hadn't realised was better was my stomach. The stomach problem that has happened since June that no one can figure out. I've had all these tests and they were all like, oh, there's not anything wrong. The diarrhea stopped. I mean, you'd think with all the morphine and all that I'm on, it would constipate me, but I was actually going normally. I would probably go every single day. It wouldn't be a normal kind of poo. It would be anything between diarrhea and really, really not like solid, completely solid. But the pain from eating and the constant diarrhea had completely stopped too. And I was reading up about Sjögren's and that. So I get really dry mouth. Look at my lips, they're so dry. My eyes are still really stinging because they're dry. They don't look dry because I've just been crying, but... And it says that in your stomach it affects it in that way because the mucosal layer in your stomach that pushes food through, if that's dry, every time you eat something, it just basically doesn't get processed and gets basically just shut out, basically. So there's no, that's what the pain is when you eat, is it's basically like eating loads of cream crackers and not being able to have a drink because your mouth is so dry, and when you try and swallow you kind of cough and choke a bit because everything's so dry. And I really do think I put money on that it's Sjögren's, but if the treatment is steroids, then it does. I've proved that I've tried it, it's helped, I've come off it and I'm back to where I was. But do I stay on steroids forever? Because that's a slight worry to me, because at the time over Christmas that I was on steroids, my appetite came back, my jaw didn't hurt so I could actually eat again, and my stomach got better, and I actually put on like 5 pounds, which is quite a lot in a week, but it was because I missed food so much, and I've not really been able to eat normal food apart from blended pureed food since summer sometime, but more so since November, so I'm not really sure. Because the steroids gave me a big appetite, and that's why you put on weight, not that they bloat you in any way, or water or anything. It make you hungry. And I know a lot of people who are on steroids for very different illnesses. Some are Crohn's, some are lupus, some are infections of different things, but they do make you hungry, and also they will lower your immune system, and mine is already obviously low, because I think this is the reason this all started, because of the flu jab. Not because of the flu jab, but my body wasn't strong enough to handle the vaccine, and it's all messed up, and I'm in like back to square one. I was going to do a video over Christmas to show you how great I felt, and then I was just like, I can't be bothered, because I was just in a happy Christmas bubble where I was enjoying my time with, my husband was off work, my family were around, I had a really lovely Christmas, and now, I mean, luckily I do only have 1 week until I go to Stanmore, and everyone I know so far has said you have to see a rheumatologist. Well, I'm seeing one, and it's one who knows me already, but also knows the EDS aspect of things and won't blame it on EDS like all these stupid doctors have done for the last few months, saying, oh, well, it's your EDS. Well, it's like no one's done tests. I mean, I've had the ultrasound on my neck, and I've seen my physio, and that is all I've had. I've had blood tests that show nothing. Whether they're looking for the right thing, I don't know. So that is my situation at the moment. Hopefully tomorrow we'll hear something from my GP to see whether or not he can put me on steroids and for another week. The morphine patch I really don't get any benefit from. The Oromorph seems to work a lot better. So I'll ask him if I can just come off that, because I hate being reliant on something like morphine. Especially if it's not helping, it just gives you side effects, and then you've got to have... Oh. But I am on the antidepressants, and the trouble is, I said to him originally, the only reason I've become so depressed is because of the pain and the fact that I'm stuck indoors and can't go out. And the reason is because of pain, and no one's done anything to help until just before Christmas, when my GP decided finally to prescribe some medications to try and see if it'd help. Oh, so if anyone's ever had this, please message me or put in the comments below what is your diagnosis. This whole jaw thing is awful. And I was going to see the Max Fac people, but that's not for another month and a bit, like 5-6 weeks away. But it's like, it hurts here and here, and then up behind my ears, and across here, and then here, and here. None of the rest of my body hurts, nothing. Just my face and my neck. So, if you know what that is it Sjogren's? Is it... I mean, I've got dry eyes, a dry mouth, and that is in itself... I've got gastroparesis. I've got all the things that say Sjogren's, but who knows? So my next video will be after I've been to Stanmore in a week, to tell you whether they can, well, if they've got an idea what it is, what tests, because I'm amazed. I had no scans, you know, like the ultrasound was like just tiny. They've done no scans on my neck to see if there's anything wrong with my neck at all. Nothing. And they've done no scans on my face. Oh, I had an x-ray actually. I ended up in A&E as well. That was a whole nother story. They were useless. They just sent me home. Didn't do any tests. But they did an x-ray of my jaw and they said it looked normal. So we'll see. But I'll let you know what Stan will say if I get a diagnosis, if they're sending me for tests. I don't know. I just want this all to be over and to have no more pain. So that's it from me. Hope you're all having a good start to the new year, unlike me, but I'm sure it will get better at some point. You never know. And that's the other thing, I can't smile like that. That's literally, it looks so fake. Literally my face is so swollen and hurts, I cannot smile. So, anyway. Bye. Thanks for watching, everyone. Stay tuned and click the picture of me on the screen right now, and you can subscribe to my channel. Please like the video and click the bell notification if you want to know when my next videos are put onto YouTube. There should be a box on the screen where you can see other videos I've done. Happy watching.